Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I did this glitter cut crease. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using the LA Girl Cosmetics Pro Primer. I like this primer because I feel like it has a lot of pigmentation to cover up any darkness in your eyes, at least for me. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be using the new 35OM from Morphe brushes. And I'm going to start off by just dusting the lightest color of the palette on my eyes to give it a base. And then I'm going to move on to this kind of like brown sand color, and I'm going to be using this as a transition color. And for this, I'm using a Luxie Beauty tapered blending brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and be sweeping that in my crease and just blending it out. Alright, now I'm going to be moving on to the crease. I'm going to be using these two dark brown colors to cut my crease, and I'm going to be using an angled brush for this. You could go ahead and use any angled brush. I really like doing this first because it kind of gives me a layout of how I'm going to do my eye makeup, and I'm just doing my best to follow my other eye just so that they could be pretty much symmetrical. And as I'm doing this, I'm building up that brown color. And then I'm kind of bending the brush so that the shadow could kind of appear like more blended, because an angled brush could be really precise, so I'm using like the sides of the brush. And this cut crease is winged out. Alright, now I'm going to be using these two orangey colors to just kind of blend out the cut crease and give it a little bit more of dimension and depth, a little bit of an orangey shade to it. And for this, I'm using a Morphe blending brush. I'm not quite sure which one this is, but I'll go ahead and list it down below. Just building up that color so that it could look like a nice gradient. I'm going to be using the 35OS, the shimmer palette, and I'm going to be using this gold color right here, and then the lightest color for my inner corner. And I'm applying this with an eyeshadow brush that I got from eBay. These are really old, but they do a good job. And just so that it could look a little bit cleaner, I'm going to go ahead and get that angled brush and go over the cut crease one more time. Alright, now moving on to the glitter, I'm going to be using Copperella by violetvoss. And I'm going to be using the Eye Candy Cosmetics adhesive for this. And then the brush that I'm using is kind of like an eyeliner brush. This one is from eBay as well. And I'm just going to be following the line of my cut crease. What I did was wet the brush and then picked up the glitter, and I'm just going to be following the line until it's as precise. Winging out the glitter is the last thing I do. I'm just building up the glitter more and more. Alright, so now that I have the glitter the way I want it, I'm going to go over with the angled brush and the dark brown color just a little bit on top of the glitter to just make it look more precise. And as I'm doing that, I'm blending it out. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm going to be using Inglot 77 and this brush from the craft store. Alright, so once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and apply some liquid liner on top of it so that it could just stay on longer. Alright, and now for my inner corner, I'm going to be using the same glitter with the same adhesive, just a smaller brush. And I'm just going to be applying this in my inner corner, being very, very careful. Making sure I don't get any in my eye. Now I'm just applying some mascara, then I will be applying my false lashes. This mascara is the Smashbox X Rated. These lashes are Jade by shophudabeauty. Now I'm just lining the inner rim of my eyes with Inglot 77 as well. Hey guys, so this portion of the video is going to be a talk through just because I want to talk about products that really help me out for this type of weather, kind of hot, sometimes humid weather in the spring. So right now I don't have anything on my face. I just moisturized and I have my eye makeup done, and I did try and clean off all of the fallout. I feel like your eye makeup doesn't really matter for the weather unless you're going like swimming or like to the beach or anything like that. Then I wouldn't recommend wearing a glittery cut crease like this. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump to my face. So the first thing that really helps me out for hot weather is this Benefit Porefessional Matte Rescue. I talked about this in my Spring Essentials video. I absolutely love it, and I try and apply it like right here where I get oily. You could probably already see some oil building up on my nose, my T-zone, and I try and kind of avoid it like on my drier spots on my face, so just where I get oily. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I can get up to my forehead. I don't know why my forehead gets so oily sometimes. I like to pair up the Porefessional Matte Rescue with the Porefessional Primer just when I really want to lock in my makeup and I want to look really matte, so that later on in the day when my oil starts peeking out, it won't look too wild. So I like to just use like this much and mainly apply it right here because I have a lot of kind of larger pores in this area. And underneath my eyes, I like to really get primed right here so that my concealer could go on nicely. Alright, foundation. I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation with the Milani 2-in-1. I really like these two together, but you could just use one foundation if you like that's meant for oily skin, something that will look matte. The Marc Jacobs one is really, I love that foundation so much. It's so good for oily skin, but lately I've been really digging this combo because I like the way it looks on my skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply like a few stripes of this stick foundation. Even in hot weather, I like full coverage. I don't really go with light makeup just because of the weather, you know. Now I'm gonna get like a pump out of this one. Dab it on. I feel like that barely did anything, so I'm gonna get another pump of the Milani 2-in-1. And in the Milani 2-in-1 foundation, I am a shade 02, which I think is like the natural shade. And in the Makeup Forever stick, I am a Y405, a 153. You could use a brush, but I find that the Beauty Blender really pushes the product inside your skin. And I really like that. I prefer that using these foundations. But for example, I have some foundations that I wouldn't be able to use my Beauty Blender with. Like the Marc Jacobs one. That one does a lot better with the brush. Alright, now moving on to concealer. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. This is in the shade Light Pale. I really like to use this to highlight my face. I'm going to go down here on my chin. Alright, now I'm going to bake my makeup. I love to bake my under eye. I feel like when I don't bake my under eye, it creases. Like almost every single time I don't bake my under eye, it creases. So I always like to bake. And this is the Ben Nye Translucent Fair Powder. I love this powder because it's really affordable and it gets the job done. And how I usually apply this is I just put kind of a good amount, a lot, in the little cap. And then I just get my Beauty Blender. And I like to make sure that there's no creases before I apply the powder. And I find that this really helps me stay matte throughout the day as well. I'm a really oily person, so that's something to keep in mind because this is a lot of powder and it could easily look really cakey. But at the end, I am going to set my makeup with a spray, so it helps push in the powder and have it look a little bit less powdery. Dust off this powder. And what I'm going to do is get my MAC Studio Fix, more powder, and this kabuki brush, and just get my powder like this. And push it in my skin. More right here. Like this area right here where I be getting so oily right there for some reason. I'm actually gonna do the Hula by Benefit and also the Dandelion blush in liquid form and apply it on my cheeks and dab it in. I was kind of scared of doing this yesterday just because I was like, you know, I already put powder. This is kind of a liquid cream form, but I found that it still worked really, really nice. So what I'm going to do is just apply a little bit of the bronzer as if I was to contour my face just to bronze it up, and then I'm going to dab it in with a Beauty Blender. As you can see, it doesn't look like, you know, super botched or anything. Now what I'm going to do is apply the Dandelion. You really don't need a lot, so that's about all you really need. And I'm going to apply this with the stippling brush. Okay, sight. I'm gonna put it in with the Beauty Blender, like dab it in. That is done. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some regular blush on top of that so that it can stay throughout the day. I'm gonna be using the Tarte blushes because I hear that they're 8 hour. I don't know if it says anywhere on here that they're 8 hours, but apparently these are 8 hour blushes, which I believe because they are really good blushes. And today I'm going to go with Glisten, this one right here. This is a really cool palette. I don't know if it's still for sale, but really, really nice. I think I got it for like $30. They were having some special promotion. What I want to do real quick is apply some powder highlight, like flat matte highlight, in the areas where I would highlight my face to kind of help me out with this blush that I put too much of. And I'm going to be using the medium one. This is the Morphe 06 PC. Oh, that's really light. So to just add a little bit more contour, because I feel like it just kind of looks like a bronzy pinkish blush look, I'm going to go ahead and use the Morphe 06 PW. This is like the contour. I'm going to use probably this one right here, which is like their warmest shade, I think. I'm using Gilded Honey. This has been my jam for these past days. I don't know what it is. Something about it is so beautiful. And I'm going to be using this brush from Makeup Addiction Cosmetics. And I'm just going to move on to lips. I'm really excited because I'm going to be using a new lipstick. This is Gemini by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And I'm going to be lining my lips with Royal by MAC. Alright, so once I have my lenses in, I'm going to apply some like light pale eyeliner so that it could open up my eyes a little bit. And I'm going to be using NYX Wonder Pencil. This is in the color medium. I think I should have a lighter one than this. It's the color light, and this is like the one that I really like to use for my under eye. Alright, so there it is. Now I'm just going to apply a little bit of mascara. Now to set my makeup, I'm going to be using Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. This is in Peach. Alright guys, so that was my makeup tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys liked this look. So if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that so much. And if you're not subscribed and you'd like to be, go ahead and subscribe down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.